Good morning and welcome to Chapter a Day. Today we're reading from Home Again, and this is Chapter 2. And the boxes just kept coming. None of them opened, all of them in worse condition than the pristine, almost loved condition they were in when they were originally sent. And that just pissed Poppy Hansen off. Her friend, her employer, and the most decent man Poppy knew, did not deserve the ungrateful superstar of a son who never bothered to visit or read a damned letter. In fairness, Robert Oakley sent boxes full of letters at a time. Even so, one would think, if one weren't a celebrity advice giver, that one could spare a half hour out of their busy day to open a box, pick a letter, and read. Not Garrett Oakley. Garrett Oakley, only child, couldn't be bothered. The next time Poppy saw Garrett, she was gonna strangle him, even if she had to stand on a step stool to do it. Not that she'd have to worry about that bit of uncharacteristic, daydreamed, premeditated violence. The last time Garrett visited his home in Fish Creek over a year ago, he hadn't bothered to see his father. Robert only found out Garrett had been in town because Garrett stopped by the Red Robin Inn for breakfast. Before anyone knew Garrett was home, he was gone. Astrid caught a glimpse of him. Poppy's daughter could often be found in the Red Robin kitchen. Cherry coffee cake, made fresh daily by Beth Zimmerman, confectioner extraordinaire, could be easily scalped by an enterprising 7-year-old. Astrid had been 6 when she peeked out of the kitchen and saw Garrett eating alone. She must have peeked more than once because, as she relayed the story to Poppy, the beautiful dark giant winked at her and smiled a smile to slay evil dragons. Yep, to slay evil dragons, Mama. At the time, Poppy had been reading Sleeping Beauty to Astrid mainly because of the discussions they'd had over princesses needing to save themselves and the fact that evil stepmothers should always appear in dragon form. It was also the first book Poppy could remember her mother reading to her at night. She didn't start with it, but last year Astrid had been going through a Disney princesses streak that ended almost as quickly as it started. Now she was a Jedi warrior. The tiaras only came out at night. The trouble for Poppy was she remembered this particular giant's smile. She couldn't have described it any better had she tried. Poppy shook herself out of a year of yesterdays to focus on the box Joe, Fish Creek's mail delivery person, was handing her. Didn't have the heart to leave this at the Red Robin, Poppy. Robert deserves better than this. Least that boy could do is open a box. Better yet, not send it back. Garrett could pretend. Save the old man the heartache. Poppy took the box. Does everyone know Garrett's sending the boxes back? Fish Creek was a small town in the midst of a handful of small towns that made up the resort and tourist area of Dora County, Wisconsin. And like all small towns, news, especially conflict-ridden news, spreads faster than mosquitoes after the first thaw. A pained look flashed across Joe's face. No one knows. I deliver the boxes only to you. I was a year above Garrett in high school. I watched him stand up to 3 senior girls. Joe laughed, a low, brutal sound that hurt Poppy to hear. All members of the Palms, if you can believe it. He shamed them into leaving me alone. The whole thing took less than 15 seconds. Life got better for me after that. Joe swallowed hard. I'm having a hard time reconciling that, Garrett, with the man sending these boxes back. I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt. Poppy nodded, accepting the box, setting it down on her front porch. Me too, she said, smiling at Joe, who didn't have a clue how beautiful she was. Why she stayed in Fish Creek, Poppy couldn't fathom. It couldn't have been easy, coming out in high school in a town of less than 1,000. Poppy gestured for Joe to come in. Got time for a cup of coffee? Joe flashed a smile. No, the sooner I finish, the sooner I'm headed to Green Bay. Joe was seeing someone from Green Bay, about 40 minutes south. She worked at St. Brendan's, an Irish pub and guest house where Poppy and her siblings liked to hang out when they were in town. Poppy waved Joe off. Have fun. Always do, Joe said, as she made her way down Poppy's front steps and onto the sidewalk that connected Poppy's cottage to the Red Robin Inn. Good luck with the box. Thanks, Poppy muttered, more to herself than Joe, who was moving at a clip too fast for Poppy's little voice to carry. It was still too early for most Red Robin guests to be out and about. Poppy glowered at the box. She needed a plan. She tried doing this the easy way, gently nudging and nudging Garrett Oakley into a place she wanted him to go. That had failed. Poppy was used to that. She wasn't very good at bending the universe to her will. What in the world am I going to do now? It wasn't the world that answered the question. It wasn't even the known universe. It was a smallish, dirty mud of a dog peeking its dingy white head with oversized ears out at her from behind the old massive oak tree in the Red Robin's yard. The dog just stood there appraising her, ears perked and head cocked, as if willing her to figure out the mystery of the unopened boxes, how to bring Garrett and Robert together, and what to do with her own crazy life, admonishing her to get on with all of it already. Well, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow for Chapter 3.